Well, this was kind of an interesting experience. I have used Windows my whole life, and I have never said that Linux is the better operating system. Like, sure, it's open source, we all love it, it's great. We all love to tinker, we all love to use Linux, but it was never the complete experience. Whenever you needed something reliable, you always wanted Windows. That's just a fact. Let's ignore Windows Vista, Windows 8, Windows 11 maybe. They were all shit, let's be honest. However, it was reliable. You didn't have any Bluetooth connection issues, you didn't have video drivers issues, you always had sound. Everything was just working, albeit very bad. So I decided to try Linux. Like, this is definitely a yearly event for me. Each year I always try Linux. I say, okay, maybe now it's complete. Maybe now I can finally switch to Linux. And in 2025, I think that's true. I think this operating system now in 2025 is complete. You have everything. Everything works out of the box. You don't have to dabble in the terminal if you don't want to. Everything can be done through the graphical interface. Drivers work immediately out of the box. That was the case for me. Maybe it isn't the case for your some other system, but drivers worked out of the box. I didn't have any issues. And what's even more interesting is the fact that this system, this laptop, K7, something like that, is a gaming laptop. This system works better on Linux than it does on Windows. I am shocked that I am even saying this. This laptop always had issues with hotspot. I always use hotspot from my phone so I can have internet on my laptop because I'm always traveling around. It always dropped the connection randomly. It had a brain of its own, but now it's fucking incredible. Incredible. It never drops the connection. As soon as I press turn on personal hotspot on my iPhone, it immediately connects. Immediately. And it doesn't ever drop the connection. What else? You can make the argument that Linux was always better than Windows for power users. And I believe that to be the case. Linux always gave you full control of your operating system, of your hardware. It gave you full control. Anything you want to do, you can do it. And even now, you can see some remnants of that being the case. It respects you. For example, let's go to the settings. Let's open battery. I want to see something. Where is it? Was it here or somewhere else? Power statistics. Here it is. Like, you get tools like this straight out of the box. What is this? Let's open the laptop battery. It gives you how much wattage you have currently. It gives you how much wattage you have when the battery is full. It gives you the exact number of wattage the battery had when it was new. Like, this is crazy. Crazy statistics. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. You can have every last bit of information about your hardware. You know it. With Windows, it's completely the opposite. Windows nowadays treats you like an idiot. There's no going around it. It treats you like an idiot. Let's start with Windows XP, because for me, that was the best operating system Microsoft ever made. The reason why it was so good wasn't because it gave you full control. It wasn't the reason that it just worked and you needed everything and it respected you. It was because it gave you all three. It gave you control, it respected you, it was just working. Everything was working, no bloatware, whatever you needed, it was there. On the other hand, you had Linux. In the past, Linux was a different beast. It gives you full control of your operating system. However, things aren't just working. You have to be more, how should I put this? You have to be more technologically adapt to use Linux. It was better for power users, for privacy focused users, for users that wanted to tinker and wanted to use and wanted to have full control of their operating system. But if you gave your Linux laptop to your grandma, I spit on my laptop. If you gave your Linux laptop to your grandma or your father or mother or whatever the case may be in, let's say, 2010, they won't be able to utilize the full capability of the operating system. And what's more, they will run into issues. They will have to fix those issues. You may be able to fix those issues easily, but they don't have the skills to do so. So it was never a complete experience. Whenever you installed Linux, you had to, first of all, deal with driver issues, and after that, deal with any sort of compatibility issues you had with all of the applications you were used to when using Windows. Sure, there are alternatives to those applications like LibreOffice Suite, like DaVinci Resolve, like stuff like this, of course, but most people don't want to use those applications. Anyway, I went on a long tangent. The point is, they were different beasts, and the reason why Windows controlled the majority of the market share. It's still the case today, of course. But the reason Windows controlled so much of the market share is because it was a complete operating system. It wasn't good at one thing only. It was good at everything. Nowadays, I think the roles have reversed. Today, I used PopOS this last month. I think this is a better operating system experience than Windows. Didn't have to deal with any compatibility issues. Drivers worked out of the box. Everything worked out of the box. You can even argue that it was faster than Windows. I like the graphical interface. It's something new, something that respects your time and doesn't shovel application, adds bloatware in your face. Whatever you want to install, you can install it. Whatever you don't want to have installed isn't installed. So I am very impressed. This operating system, it's fucking great. I don't know what else to say. It's fucking great. What I found interesting during this process was that this is my personal laptop. I use it at home. Whenever I went to work, I have a Windows machine at my workplace. I dreaded going to work. I dreaded going to work and working on that Windows machine. I was so surprised that I felt that way. I was so surprised. And furthermore, after 3 or 4 days of dreading working on my Windows machine at my workplace, I just took my laptop. I took my laptop and I was working on my laptop at my workplace. And my experience was better. I was more efficient. I was more satisfied when I left work. It was all positive experience. Now, I want to mention my workflow and what I was using my laptop for so that it can give you more context as to why my experience was great. Gaming, I didn't try much. I downloaded Hollow Knight. I also downloaded Disco Elysium, but I played like 30 minutes. However, the installation process using Vine and Lutris was okay. It wasn't bad. You had to tinker a bit, but wasn't as bad as it was before. And it worked the first time I installed those games. So that was great. I think it's also even getting better with Steam OS, with Steam compatibility layer. It will only get better from here. So I think gaming is okay. You can make the argument that it may be better on Windows. Sure, more games work out of the box on Windows, but it's still possible to game. From what I heard, the most problematic games are those that have anti-cheat or similar systems. So games that have that, they are harder to work on Linux or don't even work. For example, Fortnite anti-cheat doesn't work on Linux at all. My primary workflow is in my browser, but I also downloaded DaVinci Resolve. So I did some video editing. It was great. I am used to Adobe Premiere, but I think I will switch to DaVinci Resolve from now on. It's as good as Adobe Premiere. The only thing I have to do is get used to the software, which is totally understandable. And I'm willing to do so because of all of the shady business practices that Adobe Premiere or the Adobe software team have. So Linux in 2025, fucking great. I love it. My plan is to never switch back to Windows. Well, obviously not never, but for now I am very satisfied with Linux, with PopOS especially, and I will also be switching my workplace machine to Linux. It's a great experience. I am looking forward to the future of me using this operating system. And yeah, that's it. I hope you liked the video and I hope you stick around for similar videos like this. So expect more videos in the future and I hope anyone finds this video somewhat interesting. Thank you.